ladies and gentlemen, you are all welcome to Good for Ghana. Feel free and enjoy a peaceful environment. Good for Ghana is an NGO, child-centered. We are here to protect children who are vulnerable, especially from broken homes. We find them on the streets. Most of the time, the police find them when they are lost. They collaborate with the social welfare and they bring them here for safekeeping. And when they are here, we counsel them. And you know, most of the time, these children are broken down. Some are battered, some are beaten, and sometimes some come with all sorts of marks on their body. Psychologically, they are really down. So we provide a home here for them to feel at home, feel at peace. And I wish some of you would just visit this place to see what we do. For you to see a white lady, a mother handling children. Sometimes when I look at her, I get some surprise. But the white lady handling a black children, cutting their nails, talking to them, letting them feel at home. Sometimes when they are to resettle them, it's very difficult for them to leave. They don't want to leave, they want to stay here. But you know, here is a temporary shelter. We also provide some teaching for them, what they've lost in the schools. They are here, we teach them, we counsel them, and after that, when we locate the family, we find a safe family that we can hand them over to in collaboration with the NGO. And for 4 years, about 4 years that this NGO has existed, we've handled over 100 children. That's the work we've done here. Then the next thing is last year, under the able leadership of Miss Maria Dankes, I think she's sitting at the back there. I'm so proud to have her as my boss. Yeah, we started a free school in this area. She observed that there were children in this area who were not going to school during school times. And we did some interview and we got to know that most of the parents were not having money to pay for the school fees. Sometimes they say textbooks or what have you. So because of that, and you interview the parents and you get to know that some of them are not working because of they are told. And they are trying to make some effort to get some job to take care of the children. So what we do is we invite the children here for the meantime. We teach them like they are being taught in school until the parent gets a job and come and take them to the various schools they want to take them. And I think since we started, we've handled over 50 children and we are still counting. So this is the work of the NGO. Thank you very much.
I found this place just back in January, and I think what is going on in this location is really quite amazing. As I say, we have the home behind it, we have the education side here. And one of the reasons I got involved is I'm here as an educational consultant, and I've been in and had support to try to help Eric, our teacher, to try and get what's best for the children. In this class, because this is the classroom that we're sitting in today, we can have children from 2 to 16. So Eric deals with a very large range of even just academic issues, never mind all of the personal and emotional issues that come alongside of this. So I come in and I'm helping out as an educational consultant to try and help progress the school to see what we can do to manage it. So really, today's session we hope will be the first of many sessions. We would like to do these sessions twice a year if the teachers want them. And the reason it's sort of come about is I could do this session one-on-one with Eric. But if I'm going to take my time to do one-on-one with Eric, then why don't we just invite more teachers and get more work out there? Just want to make it clear, the money that you have paid today does not go into my pocket. Okay? We also have another speaker, Christian, who's also around. There he is at the back. And we're not getting paid for this. The money that has came in today will go directly to the NGO to support the feeding and the looking after of the children who come in. Okay? And as I said, we would like to do this twice a year so we can say, okay, what do you guys want to learn? So this time we've sort of decided what we want to get the message over to you guys. But in the future you can tell us, well actually Helen, we would really like to know more about this. We would really like to know more about that. So that's sort of our intention. So this is all done for free at our end. And it is all here so we can support education in Ghana. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. Maybe this puts things into perspective. I've been in Ghana 18 years. I lived in Bwa. I spent 2.5 years living in Bwa. For West. Right, my nose did not bleed once. The whole time I was there, my nose did not bleed. Because I know that a lot of Ghanaians go, oh, your nose bleeds if you go that far north. And I'm an educator. I actually work for GES. I've been in and out. I've been international, but Ghana has always been my base. I'm married to a Ghanaian. This is really home. So I'm here to try and to develop education in Ghana. That's really my dream. I've worked in some of the top schools here in Ghana. Now I'm trying to do things a little differently. So when I'm standing here because I really want to help develop education in Ghana. I've sort of been involved in it for 18 years, so let's keep it going. So let's just go through the outline of events today. First off, we're going to start with a session on assessment for learning, okay, and other techniques that we can use in our classrooms to try and support learning. Then we'll have a little bit of a break. Then Christian has very happily come along, and his work is about keeping children safe, which is really what Goods for Ghana is all about. It's about keeping Ghana safe. And he has an NGO that is also working along them lines. So he's going to talk a lot about discipline. And so what I would like you all to do now is just to find a pair. I think you're near enough in pairs if you two work together. What I want you to do is just to take 1 minute on your own to think about what types of assessment you use in your classroom. Just think, just for 1 minute. Go. What type of assessments do you use? Just on your own. Just on your own. Just first minute is on your own. Longer, people are still thinking and writing their notes. Now, you've got 2 minutes to discuss all the different types of assessment that you do with your partner. So just turn around, have a quick conversation, talk about the types of assessment you use in your classrooms. Two pairs to get together and just share your ideas again. Okay, because the more you share ideas, the more we generate ideas, the more that we all share. So if the two pairs at the front, you guys just turn around and talk to the ladies. If you guys turn around and talk to the two gentlemen behind, and then just discuss again. so good. We'll keep them going. So think about rounding up in the next 2 minutes. I'm a great believer in teachers getting together and talking. There is a real tradition throughout schools, not just in Ghana, worldwide, where teachers like to insulate themselves in their classroom and they do their own little thing in their own classroom and they don't always be open and talking. Okay? So when we have a bunch of teachers sitting together talking and discussing about professional development, about things that are happening in their schools, how we can move forward, I think, to me, that is the ultimate. But you're going to learn a little bit more about that one as where we're going on. Right, little activity. I'm going to read out a load of different assessment types, right? If you do it in your classroom or your school, give me a thumbs up. If you do it regularly. If you do it occasionally, give me a thumbs to the side. If you don't do it, give me a thumbs down, right? It does not matter what the answer is. Just be honest. Really think, do we do this or do we not do this? Okay? So thumbs up, thumbs to the side, thumbs down. Regular, we do it occasionally, no we don't do it. Testing. Do you do testing in your schools? This section of this assignment is about assessment for learning, not of learning. When you all put your hands up very readily at testing and exams, that is actually assessment of learning. The kids have learned this, we're going to test them and we're going to find out what they've learned. This section that I'm talking about today is assessment for learning. So very small change between of and for. But actually the difference in what it means is quite phenomenal. Assessment has always been of learning. Think back to Adam and Eve. God tested Adam and Eve, didn't he? And they truly failed it. Okay? But that was an assessment of what they learned. God says, don't eat the apple. They ate the apple, they failed the test. Okay? All over the world, we still have these traditional coming of age ceremonies where children have to go through certain activities, and if they can do them all in one go, then therefore they've passed the test and they can become an adult. The most important single factor influencing learning is what the learner already knows. Right? Ascertain this and teach accordingly. So I'll read that again. The most important single factor influencing learning is what the learner already knows. Ascertain this and teach him accordingly. So basically what Ashbel is saying is if we know where the kid's going, we can help them go to the next stage. Okay? Bloom. We've all heard of Bloom's taxonomy, but he also did a lot of other research. And Bloom believed that one-to-one teaching, and I don't actually agree with him, but I want you to listen to the statement, that one-to-one teaching was the gold standard of education. It provided feedback. So what he said was, as you're learning, we should be checking how much they're learning. And then we should be adjusting the learning and the feedback that we give to the children in order to move through to the next bit. So if you have one teacher, one child, that feedback is instant. And he said that was the best way that children could learn. I don't actually agree with him, okay? I agree that feedback is important. If we keep children, we know where they're going, where their directions are, we'll keep them going. But I think there's lots of other ways of doing it. But he also accepted that it was not for mass education. And that's a big issue. Mass education cannot afford one-on-one. Okay? Do you know how many teachers we have in Ghana? According to government statistics, okay, published in 2011, we have 250,000 teachers in this country. Ghana, the wonderful world where all these chocolate pods are grown. Okay, they actually do a unit on chocolate. Now, if you're doing a unit on chocolate in the UK, you ask the kids, what do you know about chocolate? Okay? They find that they can buy it in the supermarket and they like eating it. That's about it. I did the same project with some children in Swedroe. Told you I know Swedroe. And of course the kids there know a lot more about chocolate and chocolate pods. So the first thing that every unit we do in the IPC has is something called the knowledge harvest. Okay? And the knowledge harvest is you sit down with the kids and you say, well, what do you know? This is the topic we're covering. Tell me what you know. Because once you know what they know, then you can really plan and adjust your plans to make sure that you're teaching them exactly what needs to be taught. Red's usually a terrible colour to use. So I'm going to ask my class, what is 3 times 5? So they all go. Now, did I get it right or did I get it wrong? Wrong. But as a teacher, you now know whether you get it right or whether you get it wrong. You know which ones have got it right and which ones have got it wrong, just because they can show you. And the children are not used to talking to a teacher on the same level. You're not doing it as a, why are you doing it that way? You're doing it as, tell me, explain to me, help me out. And then that's when you're starting these conversations. Once you've got one doing it, invite another child in to come and join you, so you've got 2 and 1. And then you start having these conversations. Walk away and let the 2 kids continue the conversations. Because these conversations are really important. When people are talking about their learning, talking about what they are learning, then we will be able to progress further and further forward. I cannot say that we have to get rid of testing. Because really, testing in exams can still be part of assessment for you. The other thing that you can do is class time. I don't know what happens in your schools. I find in a lot of Ghanaian schools that the kids tend to stay in the class, but sometimes the teachers move around. Does that happen in your classes?
Yes.
But during form time, you quite often you get together at the very beginning of the morning and mark the register. So that person should be their home teacher. That should be somebody that really the bonds are being built with. It's nice to sit around. I know Eric does this every day with the kids. Everybody sits around. We sometimes read a story. We're sometimes discussing. And if you do this on a regular basis where the kids get to trust you, they will start coming telling you if there is a problem. The more you practice it in the classrooms, the easier it becomes. So you think on your own. You then talk it through in a pair, then you talk it through as a small group. Children will learn these skills, they will develop them as you give them more opportunities. Think about, what am I going to put into my classroom in this next week from today, and I'm going to give it a go, I'm going to have a try. So just think, just for 1 minute. session. I hope you've enjoyed it. As a facilitator of this session, I have been just so impressed about the quality of the conversations, the intensity. Does anybody have any questions that you would like to ask? That I'll be honest with you, if I can't answer it, I will tell you I can't answer it. But I will always go away, try and find out a better answer and give it back to you. Does that mean I'm really good? Or yes, madam.
Okay. I don't know whether you've talked about it, but I just want to find out. I have a problem where if you can help me solve it. I have a particular child in my class. I teach KG2, and this child talks a lot. And I've done so many things to calm him, and he still does it. How should I go about it if you have such a child in your class? And he's not clever too. He just talks.
Probably give you the answer you don't want to hear.
Wow.
Let them talk. Because I believe when children are talking, that's when they develop their vocabulary skills, that's when they grow in confidence the more that they speak. I do understand that sometimes they can distract the class.
Exactly.
And it depends on how you run your class. You know, like we've been talking today, we have you in pairs, shares. If you give them the opportunities as part of the class to do his talking, then you might find he's a bit more quiet and the times when you need him to be quiet. KG2 is such a wonderful age.
Yes.
So they're still exploring absolutely
Exactly.
everything.
Exactly.
So you don't want to stop them having that curiosity, having that ability and that confidence to speak out. I've got to get the right name here. Sir Keith Robinson. I always want to say Richards. Sir Keith Richards is a pop singer, right? Okay. Sir Keith Robinson. Does any of you know TED Talks? No? Right, TED Talks you'll find on the internet. Look up TED Talks and they are talks from all over the world. And it's people getting over 20-minute slots talking about their experiences and things. And Sir Keith Robinson did the most famous TED Talk. And what he did was schools kill curiosity.
Wow.
And he talks about schools stop kids talking. They stop them wanting to explore and things. So try not to become one of those schools that kill curiosity. But try by having this type of session where you think share. So this is thinking time. You don't talk now, it's your thinking time. Now your talking time, you only talk to this one person. Now your talking time, you're going to talk to this group. So try and to put in these sort of activities and practice. Because you need to teach him that there has to be the quiet time, the thinking time, there has to be. But try not to kill the curiosity, kill the enthusiasm.
Another second question.
Please do.
The second one is I have a child, he does not talk. And I happen to punish him by asking him to squat. Now the next day he didn't come to school. So after inquiring from the mother said that he says he's not coming back to school, doesn't want to have anything to do with the school because I asked him to squat. That was a punishment.
Oh, well, I know Christians will talk an awful lot more about this a bit later on. We do not approve of any sort of physical punishment.
Okay.
Especially if the child isn't talking, find out why the child's not talking. Now there could be many reasons. Does he talk at home?
I think so, I don't know.
That's the conversation you need to have with mom or with dad or parent or whoever comes in with the child. Does he talk at home? Is it just a school thing? If it's just a school thing, then you have to think, okay, what can we do to help them? Again, by these think, pair, share, you're giving him a chance to think, right? And prepare what he wants to say to the next person he's going to say it to, okay? So again, you're giving him the boundaries, the structure in order to be able to start speaking. But I have to say, I'm not a kindergarten specialist. I do the older ones. But I know from my experience that English is a second language. Quite often children who don't talk, they're sitting there listening. They're taking it all in. They just don't necessarily have the confidence and the belief in themselves that they want to speak. So don't force it, because if you try and force it, they will go back the other way. They will go more introvert. And
this is what I'm talking about. He doesn't have problem with the English. Well, he's a half caste. He's a Ghanaian and a Korean. And that's
but what's spoken at home? It's Korean spoken at home. So maybe, although I know lots of children who grow bilingually, but they might not have the confidence in the open area.
Okay.
Now I'm going to really embarrass my colleague here, because Marie, yes, you, she did. The reason me and Eric do all the talking is when we're together we will talk for hours. But don't ask her to come and stand at the front and just speak to everybody, because not everybody has the same set of skills. She's fabulous at then not only learning conversations with children, but then getting to know conversations. That's what she does. Ask her to stand here in front of a group and she freezes.
I'll run.
She'll run, she'll not even say, she'll run. You know, fight or flight, she'll run. So just don't force them. Ask the parents, what is it like at home? What language are they speaking at home? Find out more about the child. Try having them one-on-one conversations. Now, because of the punishment you gave him, he already hates you. So you've now got to, as an adult, to go back and say, okay, I'm the one who's going to try and make this better, and start having those little conversations and start to develop.
I did that yesterday, and I even tried to give me a gift, and he told me he had some in his bag, and he refused to take it.
It just takes time. And so
but
much
by
of
the
these,
end of the day, I was able to get him to take my gift.
that's good.
Sure.
Because one of the things which happens when you come away from these sessions, I hope when you leave this session, you're enthusiastic. You're like, yeah, I want to go and try some of these things in my classroom. And then they don't expect them all to work day one. It takes time. Especially when your children aren't used to having the conversations, talking, sharing, thinking, assessing each other, knowing what the other one should be doing. Okay? There's so many classrooms that are like, stay quiet, you know, sit there, you listen to the teacher. You have to give them time to get used to this different way, this different approach to education.
Okay.
Thank you so much for, again, the honesty makes it all the difference. If you are honest about what the issues are, then we can start solving the problems. Anybody else got a question? Yes?
Please, I also have a problem that I need you to help me. I have a boy in my class. He's in KG2. He's clever, but he don't want to learn how to write. And very soon he'll be going to class 1. How will I handle him?
Why does he not want to write?
I don't know. When you give him writing, he will not write it. But when it comes to verbal, he's good.
Okay, there's many different reasons why that can happen. Again, kindergarten, these little people are not my speciality. Okay? But what you might find is that he has a problem with writing. Does he have the fine motor skills?
Yes.
So, can he write?
When you give him something to write, he will not write it.
If you ask him to draw and give shapes, he just won't.
But if you hold his hand, he will do it.
That's you doing it, that's not him doing it.
Yes.
Can he hold a pencil? Christian, I can see you want
Yes.
to
He can hold pencil. He can hold
He
it.
can hold pencil, can
Yes.
he draw?
No,
You won't.
he won't.
Can he or won't he? I'm trying to get to the... Can he or won't he?
I don't know. I can't tell. I
The
don't know.
problem is
We can't do. If you hold his hand, he will do it. But if you leave it for him to do it, he will not do it. If you give him homework, you will bring it to him like that. He will not do it.
Well, for one, I don't agree that kindergarten should even get homework. And my own personal opinion, don't even bother. Homework is getting banned in lots of places. Finland have already banned it. Finland reaches the top academic levels literally year on year with the international tests.
kids need time for themselves. When they get home, they need to relate, they need to learn, they need to associate. But you have a child who comes home with about 15 homeworks.
Yes.
And they go back to bed late. And they don't rest. By the time they get to school tomorrow, their brain is already saturated. No learning starts in the morning. About the child not doing homework in KG2, my sister, please. And my daughter went to school, and they gave her homework. She said she won't do it. I went and told the teacher, leave it there. Don't force her to do it. If she doesn't do it, leave it. The teacher understood it. With time, second term, she will want to do it before she takes down her uniform. That child might have been forced to write, so she's hating writing. So we need to talk.
I work with children with disability, and the age that we normally detect some of these problems is the KG. They are not talking, they are not writing, they are not behaving well. It may be something more than that. It may be sensory. Even the grit alone is something else. That's why you are using sand. That's why you are allowing them to feel so many. It's a sensory processing. Alright? So it may be, dyslexia, dysgraphia, and because he sees the letter in different ways, he doesn't understand why he should learn.
You are running a new program. It's advocacy. I'm in charge of advocacy. I, as a teacher, I've always thought about my own upbringing, which I always challenge. I did this wrong. I was very timid. A friend told me that I'm still timid. I don't know. So I was trying to find out what was wrong. When I got to Payam today, I set up an NGO called End Violence Against the Next Generation. I believe whatever happens to a child today, he replicates it in the life after. So stop it now, so the next child does not become a victim. And I'm currently working with all Africa. It used to be Orphan Aid Africa, but repackaged to be all Africa. Along the line, you realize that orphanages are not the best place to keep kids. So every child needs a family. So we started working on shelters, fostering. We put them in families to support the families. That's what I do. I'm kind of counseling there. Today we are looking at safe school. When I started this, people thought it wasn't possible to raise the African child or the king. And I believe you all heard this language. The only language the African child understands is the king. When I left training college in 92, that's what I was told. And I believe this so religiously and practice it. But today when I think about it, I feel insulted. Is the European child more human than the African child? No. It is just the approach. The way you parent is what makes the difference. So I set up a school called Future Leaders Academy, where you are training kids, children without a brain, where you are educating parents on positive parenting without using the cane. You are getting difficult parents who are changing. So I'm convinced that what parents and teachers need is just information on how to do. So many years ago, when I wrote to GES to abolish corporal punishment in school, they thought I was mad. It was not possible. I said, well, since you cannot do it, I will carry the message to the media. I started writing to the Daily Graphic. I started being on TV. I started being on radio. And then I started getting problems with the PRO. The PRO. But gradually I can tell you today that since the year 2010, GES abolished caning in school. But unfortunately, most teachers are not aware. And some directors are not even aware. What it means is that when you cane a child and they struggle, GES will not back you. They will tell you that you violated the law, so you can fix it. It happened to a pregnant woman who caned a child with them, and the child got hurt. They took her to court. In that state, she was still going to court. The best GES could say was that caning has been abolished in school. So that's the data. So today we'll be looking at some of the alternatives.
Can I just ask for some clarification on that? Because I believe the law is a head teacher may cane a child up to 6 strokes.
Which has been abolished now.
It's been abolished in GES but not in law.
No.
So a private school could still follow that regulation because the law is still there. but GES says no. Can you clarify?
Okay, that's the sad aspect of what it is. The schools are under GES. So whatever they do is the law binding them covering GES. Unfortunately, even the state schools, some are still using the cane.
Not some.
No, not all, some. No, not all. I'm getting some schools to drop the cane. That's what I'm saying. That very few.
99%.
Maybe or more, 0.5 are still doing it. But the interesting about it is that GES is protecting itself with the law, allowing teachers to face the consequence when they violate it. That's that. So they say, oh, we ban it, but teachers are not trained for this. And that's the problem. For private schools, I'm sorry to say, they are supposed to be helping, but they're not helping. The issue has become like a business. Most schools don't care what happens to a child. They are only interested in what they get out of it. I run a private school, and I know what is happening. And I know a lot of big private schools. If you see, the argument is this: the so-called good schools, most of them are the private schools. Our leaders went to those schools. Let's see their products. Are you okay with the leadership you have? If they are from there, if they were well trained, if all the moral values that they're supposed to live with, they should see it in the administration of our country. Whatever happens, that is a complete mess. That's not what I want to talk about. But anyway, so you'll be looking at the effect it has on the child and some of the alternatives. Before then, as teachers, can you look at the circumstances under which our students are in class? All of it. And I know you all agree. Circumstances. If that will help us. I can give one, maybe. I teach a lesson, the child does not understand, he gets 0. I be the child.
Especially the child don't do this
the child can. Okay. Talking in the classroom. Coming late to school. Copying. School fees. Daddy doesn't pay school fees, the child is beaten. My sister, I'm from the classroom. Yes. Daddy does not have to say anything. Parents. Well, that's the school. We are talking about general. Parents don't attend PTA meetings, students are beaten. Your school, no, madam. General shopping.
It is happening.
Students do not provide, they don't come to school learning material, they are beaten. Well, you see the argument now. We are all looking at it. There is no justification for caring in school. If I teach a lesson the child does not understand, I need to change my method, not the child. I drop my child in school late, come and beat me, don't beat my child. I don't provide any material, come and beat me, don't beat my child. Teachers go to PTA meeting, go to meeting of whatever, they make noise. Go to parliament, they make noise. If you are able as a teacher to keep about 70 or 90 kids in that place and get the place quiet, I'm telling you, you are damaging them.
It's not possible.
Like what somebody you said that the child talks about. For heaven's sake, that's the stage the child is developing that skill. But repeat it, keep quiet. And the child thinks they're strong to talk. I can go on in the circumstances. Yes. So yes, even then, that's another danger. Even in the home, we don't fear human beings. You respect human beings. The moment your child starts fearing you, you're no more human being, you're a beast for that child. But most teachers like it. As for my student fear me, I tell them you're not a teacher. You don't deserve to be in the classroom. You need to create an environment where the child is free to talk, relate to you freely. But the opposite. So you need to look at once you identify those circumstances, you understand that the child does not need to be here. If they are talking, now what do you do? Today, the education system itself has a big question mark. Gone are those days, students were given the opportunity to draw. Today, drawing is no longer in the classroom, art. In the afternoon, around 2 about when the kids are tired, the teacher is tired, the room is hot. The best will be to give them the best to while they are doing that, they concentrate on that. They also rest. That's the time the conflict begins. Keep quiet. Now you go to some schools, some classrooms, the cane the teacher is using to cane the students is the same cane he or she is using as a pointer. When you lift the cane, the first thing that comes to mind when you're praying the child is seed. Learning seeds. So you don't need to use the same. In the first, you don't need to cane. To avoid it, get a short, something very short to be using as a container. I went to a school. I'm coming. This woman is a the lower primary, that other KG or so. Tall, she's taller than me. She has the cane like this. The kids were reading, and the children were doing this. As you're looking on the book, they are like this. Because Madam is having the cane in her hand. At that moment, no learning goes on. If they fail, you blame them. Fear and education do not go hand in hand. We need to work out that. Take fear out of the classroom. Be the friend of your child. Be the friend of your students. After further studies, I went back to school and I was shocked. These girls are supposed to tell their mothers. They tell me. And I said, wow, what are their mothers? They are not there. Today's child is just a victim of circumstances. We don't have love at home. We come to school expecting it. Teachers push them away. There's another crime which is happening in the classroom. A child is talking, as soon as they keep quiet, you write the name and he's beaten. Teacher goes out and comes back. We set our students against one another. Write the name of the talkatives. That person becomes a victim. It is destroying by action or inaction. You know, when you raise your hand against the child, the first thing you tell the child is that you are inferior. That's the basic that goes. The child picks the basic that he's trying to hit others. Now, there's a, you circulate, you pass the document to them to email.
Yes, we do.
Yes. The child thinks that it's normal to do it, and the child picks it. If you talk to grown-ups who be their kids, their children, they'll tell you, oh, that's the way I was brought up. And I turned out right. If you don't work on yourself, you are going to parent the way your parent did. The way your daddy and mommy treated you, the way you treated you. And all of us, as we sit here, we are all a reflection of us. There is always a reason why children do things. The judgment is wrong, but identify what that reason is. In a school recently, it's a girl, they've been beating her, she always comes late. You know, when I met the teacher, some of the teachers were not happy about what I was saying. Children are not difficult. For me, even this word, Akwalamoni, I tell parents, it's an insult to God.
It means what?
Akwalamoni, is that the way? Bad child. This child is a bad child.
This child is a bad child.
Okay. No, that doesn't exist.
For me, it's an insult to God. God says,
How can you,
everything God created is perfect. He's happy about it. If I put a child on this table and tell you that this is a bad child, tell me what you see about the child. You don't see anything. The actions are bad, not the personality. Focus on the action. And then point the way out. When you go attacking, you know when you tell boys they are bad, they like it too. And that's what you want to show. And then that child will pick it up. He becomes a naughty boy. I'm not perfect. If I tell you what I did in the class, you'll be shocked before I started this. I meet my students who tell me, you Platinum, what did you keep to rest? I look at them and say, sorry, I didn't know. Now I don't know. But the fact that one can only give what one has. Most of them do not have these techniques. We only replicate what we learn from our parents and our teachers. And our training colleges are not even teaching this. What do? We need to learn on our own. There are so many information on the net now, or in your relationship with your child. It must be democratic and bonding. Democratic in the sense that the child's view is respected. You speak to your child and listen to what the child knows and what the child needs. It may not be the best, but you can help the child out to choose what is right. Bonding in that you are the first person your child to run to. You know, anytime you hit the child, that anger pushes the child away from you. In the midst of that anger, different things come to mind. Another crime in the classroom. discrimination. He's a child from this home, treated better than somebody from another home. And these students will watch. When the teacher stand before a class and tell the student, I love all of you, students laugh. They know who you love. They know who you don't love. For me, one thing I've done with my students is that I don't speak the local language. It's even difficult for most of them to know my language. They can see me speak, they start from or with the teachers, but with them no. Because naturally there's that tendency for some people to get closer to you once they know you are from where they are coming from. And those who have problems with that, they never can. So that sets the line. And then the separation begins. And they never accept you. So in their mind, some will say, oh, you are from Togo, some say you are from Burkina, some say you are this. I tell them, yes, I'm an African. That's all. Because I want all of them to get close to me. Recently, I went to a school. You know, mostly teachers have conflict. No, this conflict. They want to even be the teachers. I took over, I started talking to them. A boy, I'm sure he wanted, it was a trial. He wanted to see the way I was going to react. He put the poster that the least will fight me. I just talk, you are out. And we come back home. And the sky takes over the place. And we say, you start complaining, what is this? What am I going to happen? They start watching me. So I walk to the house and say, oh, this is again. When visitors walk into the room and they see all this, they think that I have a dirty house. I'm saying the same thing that we go over there and they destroy their part of the house. So why the visitors come in and see this? They think that they live in a dirty house. Is that how much you want to go? They naturally, nobody cares about what we did. All of them take part in that other place. We are teaching them, we are giving them the principle of keeping the environment clean because of this. They introduce this thing at the workplace. Oh yes. Why do you use the training to school? When people come to school, right? If they don't come to school, they are beating. It is because they want to come to school. When you go to work, people come to work at 9, 10. You don't use the training. Your minister should be there, when anybody comes to you, you feel them. Now that you get it. Since that's the type of society you want to create about, let us train our own ones to act, not out of fear. That's what I believe. We need to start raising the next generation of people who act not out of fear, but because they are convinced of what they are doing.
Jump in there. I think you're hitting on a real point that this isn't just about education, it's about the whole of society. I think you're right. The 2007 curriculum that was released here with GES, you read all the press reports, etc. It's all about Ghanaian culture and values. And it was a big thing when they launched it, is that Ghanaian culture and values are put into the curriculum. Now I found it very strange because I've been in this country 18 years and I'm still trying to work out what is Ghanaian culture and values. And I think you've hit the nail on the head. We are in a stage at the moment where in the olden days there was very much the discipline, and when I mean discipline I don't mean the cane. I mean people knew what they needed to do and where they're going. I think what you're talking about is the fact that society has sort of lost its way.
One can only give what one has. That's one. There is a big gap in the classroom as it stands now. Talking about these values. If we don't have the values, you can't give them. The problem you have as a society today is because in the past, our generation was trained in fear. That the other man was at home, supervising fear, that was at work. So we were not given principles to raise the modern generation while you are absent. You get it? So today that is not work, money is not work. They are not there to fear. And they don't have principles to give the young ones to follow. Not until they identify this. Whereby the adult knows now, how can I guide the child in principles that in my absence the child can wait. That's one. In the classroom, teachers have to accept the fact that violence in the classroom will not work. Because we're talking about the values we are talking about, the things on paper are right, but the teachers are doing what they know what it is. So the acceptance must be there before they start putting it into practice. If you go to schools, some teachers will tell you, like somebody told me to hear DGS when I was talking about proper punishment. That means he's in the classroom, but does not believe what DGS said to do. That's the danger. It's a problem, you know, as a nation, we must keep on talking, getting people on board. The training colleges need to also start training students that line with this. What are some of the situations in the school that you think needs this?
I think I agree with you. Cleaning is not the option, or any form of abuse where children are involved. We were having a discussion and our sister here was talking about her class of about how many kids? 60. Yeah, you know, 60. And that is a stress. One teacher. So you know, so you know, for a teacher to go to a class of 60 kids, even 2 kids, it's not easy parenting. How much more 60? So these are stretches. Now, and these are kids, you know, talking here and there. And if you are not well trained to handle kids with different attitude, different abilities and all that, they go to the problem. You have to find a way of dealing with them. So
come to their level. Don't be up there. See things at their level. You understand? You are one child. The human mind is so powerful. If you sit down, you can remember things that happened when you were 2 or 3 years. You can remember. So it's also possible to get to that level and see why they are doing this thing. Why this is happening. Why this is happening. Where they are close. I'm not saying it is easy. It will happen all the time. A cousin, there's this technical talent for a cousin who was having his own teaching. The boy was so rowdy. When he goes to school, when he goes to teach, he doesn't want to come to the class. So he decided, when he goes to class, you are going to do 2 hours. You go and sit down. You tell him, Peter, I'm waiting for you. When you are ready, you start the class. You have 2 hours. You get ready. You know there's a time you need to watch TV, cartoon. You sit down and wait for him. When he started, when he fools around the campus now, you give him this time, stop this time. Gradually it was eating his TV time. So now, before the teacher comes to the house, he prepares the place and the waiting for the teacher. Once he finishes, have 2 hours and he go.
13 to 14 years.
Okay.
And he insulted the father. So the father brought the case to the school. But what the father does in the house is giving this child very careful about electric wire. And the day he insulted the child insulted the father. The father was so angry that he took his school uniform and soaked it in water. So our bus left the place, so this guy, because he was not going to that, the younger brother came. Later on he came. Not knowing behind the scene, it was the mother who organized for the child. When he came, he talked to me and he got to know that that was the problem. And it was like, we should punish this guy. How are we going to do it? So what the school did was we gave this guy papers, a lot of papers to go and write. I will not insult my father.
You should punish the father. You should punish the father. This is
3,000 times. And he did it throughout the weekend and got it. And since then, and the child is okay. So we are I'm just bringing this out to know that that's some of the punishments that you think is
That child is not okay. That child is not okay.
But the father still teaching.
Madam, get back to that father. It's educating. If he fails, make him mad. can be picked up. But don't be surprised. There are, no, yes, I'm coming. I'm coming. Yeah, you see, I understand you. That's why we're talking about the normal culture. There's a problem.
Coming from the mother at that age, 14, the mother who brushes his teeth.
You see, our children are 15 of circumstances that took place, and then after that, they live on there. That father is very abusive, very irresponsible around in the house. There are problems, get there in front of us. Get that boy close, tell him what is happening. The boy has already taken the front of his son. I'm telling you, if he has done that, he did it to satisfy you, because of that. You have a boy with you. But the daddy man, it doesn't mean that he has things. Educate, well, educating on the father, you need to respect the daddy and the mother to work with you. It is not based on the father that daddy matters or not. Your responsibility is to do your best.
That's what we normally do. But that punishment that I'm talking to the child before you ask him to do that.
Oh, yes.
We normally do a lot of counseling now.
Yes, but I think we should approach the parent. You know, again, you said that it may come from the upbringing of the parents.
Yes.
So psychologically, they are issues with that.
Exactly.
So you tackle
We need to work.
You know, I mean, you can advise the child, but the father
So long as the anger is there,
and children will make mistakes every day.
they don't too far from the school.
Yes.
They are far from the
Yes.
school.
Not too far.
No, well, I'm not here, but I've done that. You see, once you want to accept the child as a child in your school.
And you know, I don't know whether if that's the situation, they keep on changing schools.
That problem that really needs to be.
I wouldn't be happy.
We need to be happy. Because you don't want that to happen. You need to be more than happy. Let me tell you honestly. Where I stand now, I vowed myself, if I was see the child die, let me see the child die. Why did I affect the child?
Maybe what you can do, you can hand the poverty.
The distance, maybe I can handle that on phone probably.
Yes, that's the
Okay.
There's I have a problem with the report there. The authorities. They would not handle it well. The same psychological problem that we are handling, using to handle the children, they are the same people who are also handling them there. You see, so we take the problem there, they don't know how to go about it.
You see, let's all understand this. Anytime a child is abused, it is the larger society that pays for it. When a medical doctor makes a mistake on the bed, it kills one person. When a teacher makes a mistake with a child, the larger society pays for it. When that child is run from that house, join the gangs in the streets, takes up arm, it is our duty to protect our own ones. As teachers, we need to protect them. Irrespective of what happens. I just need to draw a call and let them know in our office. And we follow up.
I think the problem is so complex.
This is complex.
That we can sit here and
Yes.
I mean, we can even bring more teachers in the country and we still not be able to solve it. My brother was there talking about a child, even in the police station, even the comment that has happened about people who are supposed to protect kids. Now, you know what's happening? If there are any issues with the radio station, and the radio stations are rather the police.
Exactly.
And that's where the issue comes up, and they will go and do the because now it is grown up, and then they have to do something. So it's a strategy. I mean, if the child abuse, the system like anti-street, shelter, counseling, and then they will do settlement, we don't have that. And so the child will be there, the parent need counseling, everybody's like, it becomes a normal situation. So it's so complex. But those are supposed to be aware. And those who have to tackle them.
Yes. To the point, there are many issues when I talk about this, I'm not getting away. Because we're empowering women on their rights. and then many can no longer bully them, and then they get annoyed with you. Like it's not right. Not because they are getting annoyed that you do to parents. Let's keep on talking. Let's keep on educating parents. Ask your PTA to talk about this. Like I'm telling you, some teachers talk and they get mad at you. But when you go back, the voice you play, I told my daughters, no one has a right to catch your daughters. As a teacher, the baby, no one, not even your teacher. To them, it was legal for a male teacher to pull a girl by the dress and they treated their daughters. The same thing, when you tell them where it is. If I walk out and touch a lady by the daughters, I can be charged. But when I do that in the classroom, irrespective of the age of the one in uniform, it's right. Why? If he wants to withdraw the child, you can even tell him if you take the child and wallet. Let's be advocates, don't fear. Let's be bullies are cowards. Bullies, they are cowards. That's what they are bullies. The moment you take the child and face him, you're trying to stop it. And telling him that you cannot take that to him, you don't need to your child. Because initially you play, you know, nicely, but you don't listen to raise your voice. You are afraid. The boy walked 7 years, I had 7 or 9. He went to the police station to report when the father was abusing him. And he picked the dad. He became rich. That's what we want our young ones to do. The girl child should know nobody has the right to do that to her. She must go and report. And when she reports, she will be protected. Too many young people are being abused sexually and they are sitting down, not talking.
They fear to even report this because they don't have anyone to trust in. If I go and report my father is the one taking care of me. I go and report my father and he's arrested, he's put in jail. No one will take care of my school, I won't have anything to eat. You see, I remember one child who were to resettle the child. I went to the social welfare. I went to pick them. We were taking them to chop up. The way they insulted the child.
I know.
Even the social welfare people.
Yes. The school where I work, even before you get employed, there's a child right policy you must sign.
That's that.
And so when you are signing something, you have to read in between the lines. And knowing you are not be able to comply with that stuff. And then they're going to use that against you.
Yes.
So schools like private schools, public schools must have that policy.
And they must even have social workers attached.
So you sign and then you protect the child. You know what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do. Otherwise, anybody at all comes to your school to teach. It's the order of the day.
Stop the Kenny now.
Sorry, I've got to read out what this says. I think this is the most fabulous poster I have ever seen in Ghana. And it says, at this time in Ghana, the only people who can cane someone on the buttocks as part of their paid professional duties are prostitutes, pornographers, and school teachers. So as school teachers, do we want to be classed with prostitutes and porn stars? I think that is a fabulous poster and that should be in every school in Ghana. And I've just been talking to Christian at break time. I'm going to start putting this on my website. I'm going to put it on my Facebook account. I am going to get this picture out everywhere because I think this is one of the best pictures ever.
It's a fact.
So I'd like to thank you very much for coming today. I'd like to thank Maria for allowing us to use this facility. As we said earlier, I would like these to continue. Also, if your school, if you're in this location, and you would like to host one of these events, because one of our problems is this is quite a small room. So if you have a space where it's a bit bigger, a bit more area, then you're willing to host us, we're quite happy to come and do it there as well. So keep in touch.
We are advocating for non-violence in education and at home. So during this session, I presented I tried to educate the teachers on how possible it is to raise the African child without using the cane or corporal punishment.
Kete oshenechi no yiru na obo no tu na ma bisa ne se inte wo se me na me ye obo ne obetumi abo me o se da bi na me se na ade nti na obo akora o se nkora no ma so
we need to talk to the parents. If the parents are not prepared to listen, they are not prepared to change their ways, and they have to keep on monitoring the child, then they need to report to the authorities. That such parents need to be dealt with. They need to be educated, they need to be spoken to. But there are some who are recalcitrant, who will never change. Then the law has to take its, the law has to work.
One can say mentia akora, and I say menka akora near Bonia menka. And both they know can say, and far bar and more akora to say a boy.
If you look at circumstances under which students are beaten in school, there's no justification for it. There is no justification for corporal punishment in school. Children are in school to learn because they don't know. If a teacher teaches a lesson, the child does not understand it. Change the method, not teach the child. If I don't pay school fee, don't have to beat my child. If I drop my child late in school, don't have to beat the child. If I don't provide any material, don't beat the child. Children are there to learn. Behind every action of a child, there is something, there's a reason. The action may be wrong, but the reason will be right. So help the child to make the right decision. Let us stop caning. Drop it now.